Hello everybody, welcome to Friday and Flying Friday. We are in our P-38 Lightning via the Reaper. We are going to do today what I have called stupid plane tricks. Because why not? We're going to start with something very simple. Very simple. In theory. We're going to fly under some bridges. Some relatively famous bridges. 2 of them, to be exact. And after that, we're going to up the ante. And then we're going to up the ante again. So it's basically a set of 3 tricks. We're going to try to land after each one, I think, except for maybe this one. I don't know. We'll see. So we're going to start out with a very simple one. We are in Oakland, California. That was Oakland Metro that we just took off from. And we are heading towards the beautiful city of San Francisco. It's only beautiful if you don't mind the bums. It's just my 2 cents on the matter there. I'm not a big San Francisco fan, but that's okay. Some of you might be. We're going to start by flying under the famous Bay Bridge. Now, of course, this is Flight Simulator X, so the new Bay Bridge is not in game. It is the old Bay Bridge, the one that fell down and was repaired after the Northridge earthquake. The new Bay Bridge is really nice looking, actually. But it should be relatively easy. Now, what I have discovered is Flight Simulator X has a penchant for deciding you've crashed when you fly really low. I don't know why. I was actually just skimming the sea here at one point, and it just said, you crashed. It's like, but, how? Ooh, speaking of sea, there's the sea. I think what it is I have the scenery gen set back because usually, of course, I'm showing off aircraft, and as someone rightly pointed out, what's the point of having your scenery cranked if all you're doing is showing off airplanes? Logical. So I think sometimes Flight Simulator X is like, oh wait, there's a boat there. I'm like, yeah, there's no boat there because I can't see it. FSX is like, no, it's there. So that's what I think is happening. Alright, here is the Bay Bridge. That is Treasure Island there on the right. Beautiful San Francisco with the Transamerica Pyramid there on the left. If you ever go to San Francisco, there's a little place called Specialties right by the Transamerica Pyramid. Really good cookies. Actually a chain. You can get them in Seattle and LA. Anyway, alright, easy stuff. Hey there, Bay Bridge. Bye. Alright, let's take a little jaunt over to Alcatraz. We'll shoot underneath the Golden Gate. And that will be the easy stuff, right? Totes easy. I mean, we had so much space between us and everything else, especially flying something like this B-38. Hey, Alcatraz, how's it going? One thing FSX is really missing is the ferry traffic here in the bay. We're just loping at, I have no idea. It's not 120, it's got to be 200 or so? I don't know. There's no way we're just going that slow. Then again, we might be. I don't know. I haven't been paying attention to airspeed at all. And then this is, of course, also very easy. I mean, huge honking ships go underneath these bridges, so we're just going to hop underneath here. Now, I'm going to come back very quickly, and we're going to come back and go over there, past that national monument. Underneath the bridge. Yay, us. Okay, that was easy. So you're like, okay, really? This is Flying Friday. It's supposed to be hard. Well, yeah. But we want to start easy, right? I mean, if you immediately start with the hardest, you guys are like, oh my gosh. What else are we going to do? So we start easy. Alright, now we'll go through this area here, which is lower. But still, more than enough space for our P-38. I mean, look at this. It's like the P-38 just like, la la la. Push. Alright, so that was the easy stuff, right? Should we go land? Ah, we're going to be landing multiple times, probably. Alright, so that was the easy stuff. I guess there's the other half of the Bay Bridge. Let's just go for that. Then we'll land back at Oakland. Then we'll go to the second difficulty. Stage 2. You have leveled up. faster plane. I chose the P-38 for a couple reasons. One, I really like it, which is really, you know, the most important reason. And two, because it's a really nice knife edge aircraft. I can put it on the edge and I don't get a lot of sink to the airplane, which is nice. That is going to become important when we go to level 2. Alright, we're going to go through this lower section here. Do. Bye, Bay Bridge. Whee! Feels lower than it is, but it's not too bad. Alright, cool. That was easy peasy, bo beasy. Is that the airbase? Oh, it is. Do you think we can slow this plane down enough? I don't think so. I guess we'll just go. We'll go ahead and go for the Metro. Go. Little bit of airspeed. I probably could do a little swinger. Blah. Now with our airspeed, we're still at 160 knots, so be kind of hard to make that little swing around. All right, let's go to Metro Airport then. San Francisco International's right over there. I always fly into San Francisco International. I've never flown into Oakland. A lot of my coworkers do though. I don't know why, but they do. Alright, we're completely offline for Oakland, but that's alright. Advantage of this aircraft. It's quick, it's nimble, it's large. Yeah. So that's Metro there. Is that international? I think that's that's international. I think they're one in this. They're sort of like one in the same almost. It's sort of like Rocky Mountain. We got an airport right by DIA. Most people don't know it, but if you look when you approach from the south, you actually pass over it. Okay. Now after this, we're gonna pack our P-38 onto a heavy transport because it's got a long flight ahead of it. We're gonna be going all the way across the United States and across the Atlantic. We're gonna be going over to Europe for our next stupid plane trick. But first we gotta land our plane. 3 greens. Yay, 3 greens. Alright. Yes, we're high, I know. But that's okay. As long as there's no planes on the runway, we'll be fine. And the advantage of this plane also, the other reason I chose this plane is being a prop instead of a turboprop or a turbine engine, I get instant power versus the spin-up power that you get on the turbine planes. And that is helpful when you're doing stupid plane tricks. We're gonna land off center line because center line. There we go. Nice. Alright, so we've done our little easy stupid plane trick. So now let's go across the Atlantic and to our next stupid plane trick. All right, welcome to Le Bonnier in Paris. That's right, we hopped the pond from San Francisco all the way to Paris. We reassembled our P-38. We are at Le Bonnier. Air and Space Museum is right there. Again, if you ever go to Paris, go there. It's an order. Let's get that wheels in. Now, what could we possibly be doing in Paris other than causing havoc in a P-38? Well, we're going to cause havoc in a P-38. There's a couple of things we're going to do. Well, we're going to do them in one long line, I hope. Or we're going to crash and burn. One or the other. Alright, so first important thing is to find ourselves. Okay, I know where we are now. Alright, so we're going to take a little flight out of Paris. A little ways out of Paris, not terribly far. So if we look over here, we've got... So the Eiffel Tower is right there past my prop hub. So Versailles, not Versailles, the Louvre is right there. I can barely make out Notre Dame. So Arc de Triomphe, and that group of buildings there, kind of off the prop spin there. That group of buildings includes the building of La Défense. La Défense, if you know anything about that building, is a square building with an empty hole in the middle. What do you think we're going to do? I think we're going to fly a P-38 through that. And then, because we're awesome possums, we're going to continue up the Champs-Élysées. And we're going to attempt to fit a P-38 through the Arc de Triomphe. I told you, stupid plane tricks. Now, I've done this. I've taken a plane through the Arc de Triomphe before, but it was a single-engine interwar year Dewatin D501, which is a very small aircraft when parked next to something like a P-38. A little bit more challenging when you got this big thing. I'm hoping, though, that we won't make a mess all over the Arc de Triomphe. Making a mess all over La Défense, I'm not so worried about. So I'm going to take a little loop out to this river here and come back, because I want to try to line up and make it an easy pass. Let's see how that goes. I'll tell you one thing about a P-38. The way this one is designed, it's got a serious nose-up attitude. You have to really set your trim. Alright, I think we're far enough out. Bring those big engines up a little bit. So you see the hole in La Défense? Yeah, let's try to fit this plane through it. Now, I remember from my flying the Dewatin through there, it's not as easy as you'd think. You'd think, oh, that's a pretty big hole. Yeah, but there's stuff in there. There's like a tarp, I guess it's like a sunshade or a rain shade type thing. And there's scaffolding along the right-hand side, if I remember correctly. So we have to take that into account. I think the P-38 is so big that I actually have to do it at slight angle, but we'll see. And because I love to, I just got to run the engines up. Got to make noise when you fly in this slow over Paris. You see the little like sunshady thing down there, and then right up the right hand side is a little bit of scaffolding. So we're gonna fly and go. Woo. Yeah. Oh, let's not hit that building. All right, now we'll keep up here where they're missing a bridge. All right, Arc de Triomphe, your turn. This is stupid. All right. This is going to be a tight fit, I think. All right, are we ready? Oh, yeah. I'll just keep blasting over Champs-Élysées. Fly past the Place de la Concorde. Hello, Concorde. Tuileries, and there is the Louvre. And I am Pei's famous little pyramid. And Notre Dame. Yay! Alright. Got that engine so that we can slow down out of warp speed. And somewhere right over here. Where is it? Where are you? I say that Le Bonnier is right over here somewhere. And whoops. Doo-doo-doo. Le Bonnier, where are you? Where are you, airport? Oh, there it is, right there in front of me. Okay, cool. Alright, so let's go land our plane. And then we spent all that time flying this plane over here and assembling it, but we're going to disassemble it and fly back to the United States now. We have leveled up to level 3. So now we're heading back to the United States for an interesting attempt here. I don't know how this next attempt is going to go at all. I think with this aircraft I can do it. But in truth, I believe that properly I should have a smaller aircraft. I should be flying like a P-40, P-51, maybe that Diwatine. But we're going to make an attempt with something much bigger. You'll see. We're going to first try to land this aircraft. Because somebody told me I needed to do this. If I did this kind of stuff, I had to land the plane. So, here you go. I'm landing a plane. We'll try center line this time. It's not that hard in this plane. It's like, oh, I am in the center. Just land my butt on the middle. Yes, if you're ever in Paris, that museum is very nice. You don't see it in FSX, but they actually have a 747-235, I believe, from Air France on display, and a Caravelle, 2 Concords. It's a really nice museum. All right. Get this plane down nice and slow. I know my gears aren't out. I do see that. I broke them one time. When you deploy your gears at, 300 knots, it sort of breaks them. All right. Landing speed-ish is like 90, I think. We're gonna presume 90 because that's what I want to do. Floating around. Yes, I know. I'm swinging the airplane around a lot. I'm just bored. After the adrenaline rush of flying through there, I'm like, oh, this is so slow. That's all right. Okay, not quite on the center line, but pretty darn close compared to my usual landings. All right, so we're gonna package this plane up. We're going to take it back to the United States to our level 3 stupid plane tricks. Welcome to Dallas, Texas, everybody. We're at Dallas Executive Airport. We are at level 3 for stupid plane tricks. Our P-38 Lightning. Started off being easygoing and flying under the Bay Bridge and Golden Gate Bridge. Then we amped it up by flying through La Défense and the Arc de Triomphe. Now, we'll fly through a building in Dallas. I don't actually know the name of this building, honestly. Somebody suggested it. They even told me an airport to take off of, which was near their house. I was going to look up your name, but I completely forgot. I decided not to take off from that airport because the flight time was a little bit more than I wanted. So we took off from Dallas Executive, but I'm going to fly through a building. There's a building in FSX, and I don't know if it's in real life. I presume it is. It's basically 2 buildings connected by an air bridge. Kind of like the Petronas Towers in Malaysia. Only shorter and brickier in Texas. So not at all like the Petronas Towers, but still the concept is the same. You can sort of see them. Well, now you can't because my pillar's in the way. Hold on. There it is right there. See the dark building, and then to the left it looks like this little short squat building. It's actually a building with an air bridge. So we're gonna fly through that. This ought to be fun because the space is very limited. I tested out the space by trying to fly a Cessna 152 level through there. Didn't work. We don't have a lot of space. You can see it now. A lot of space going on there. So we gotta be... Well, we know where the plane is gonna arc, so I have to kind of approach in a way that when the plane arcs, because it's on knife edge, that we don't arc into the building. Let's see here. I think this should just about do us. Full power. Because full power is the best power. Hello, building. Please don't hug me. Ready? Ooh, yeah. There we go. How about that? For good measure, we'll go ahead and turn around and go the other direction. Just to prove that I can really do that. Some of you are like, oh my gosh, he really actually did it. Yes, I did. Alright, let's turn this plane around. Now, the problem is, I bet you my lineup is going to be terrible on this side. It's probably going to be like buildings in my way and stuff. Where are you, building? Oh, do you maybe want me to fly through that? I don't think I can. Let's try it. Let's try it. Catch me! Woo! Flew through both of them. Yeah, alright, fine. I'm not going to go back through that one again. Because I decided to go through that building instead. Alright, whatever. Alright, so we've leveled up to level... We're going to call it level 4.5 because we flew through that extra building there. So we're going to take a little jaunt back. And we're also going to trade in our plane. Because... Well... You'll see. Welcome back to San Francisco. We're at San Francisco International. We are in our British Airways 747-400. It's a pretty looking plane, isn't it? It has absolutely no cargo on board, I think. I'm pretty sure about that. Let's take off, shall we? So, what are we going to do? Well, we're going to be silly. It's a stupid plane trick. What do you expect? Alright, now the struggle here is these planes like to overspeed, and these planes are turbines. They especially like to overspeed when you have them empty. And they're turbines, which means they don't react nearly as quickly as I would hope. It's one reason why I choose prop planes a lot, because they're easier to fly. But we're going to give this a go. What are we going to do? Well, what do you think we're going to do? We got to duck under the Bay Bridge and the Golden Gate. Duh. Alright, we should be airborne. Yep. Throttle that back a little bit. Get those up. Throttle that back a lot, because apparently it's just going to respond sluggishly to me. It's fine. Alright, I got Bay Bridge in sight. Bay Bridge is spotted, sir! Load forward torpedo tubes. Now. Alright, this big old monster. I'll make an attempt at getting under the Bay Bridge. Alright, what are we doing? We're doing way too much speed, even though I've asked you to throttle back. Now actually throttle back, please. Thank you. Okay. Now we're going to go over the large section of the Bay Bridge, obviously, or under it, rather. Because it would be silly to try to fit this plane under the small section that we did on the return back with the P-38, because, well, I don't think it'll fit. We're not trying to be too stupid, just mostly stupid. We're also trying to scare everybody in San Francisco.
Terrain.
Be quiet, man.
Terrain.
Pump some air brakes.
Sink rate.
Burn off that speed. There we go.
Sink rate. Terrain.
Yeah, keep yelling about it. I don't care.
Terrain.
Now, I worry that we're going to get the
100.
magic crash.
Too low. Terrain.
But we'll hopefully not.
400. Terrain.
400. Keep going. We got to get lower.
300.
Good. Give me 200.
Pull up.
Hush.
200.
Thank you. Now give me 100.
Pull up. Pull up.
Come on, give me 100.
Pull up. 100.
Okay, good. Now start. 50.
Pull up. 50.
There we
40.
go.
30. Too low. Terrain.
Oh crap! All right, there we go.
Too low. Terrain. Pull up.
All these warnings. Shut up, warnings. Ooh, am I? It's
Too low. Terrain.
Aha! The magic crash. All right, so we're back. What I've done this time is I shut down Flight Simulator X and I started it back up. The reason I did that is I think there might be something glitchy when you fly under a bridge like that once. It's odd because I have done these fly-unders before, just goofing around. Not with these big planes, but with the little planes. And I've had it where I make it once, and then I try again with the same aircraft, and I have that mystery crash. So, we're going to see what we can do about this. All right, put that in. I'm also going to try to slow the plane really, really slow.
Don't sink. 50. Don't sink. 30.
No, no, don't give me that. You can climb, I promise. Just going to slow the plane a little bit. And I'm going to try to run it probably in the not quite landing speed, but I'm going to run it really, really slow. In an attempt, because I also wonder if speed isn't a factor, that the game isn't calculating something. Because I try these kind of silly things a lot with various speeds. I usually crash, but I'm wondering if there isn't a speed factor, that the game doesn't calculate some sort of ground effect or something.
Don't sink.
I don't know. All right, so I've got it throttled literally all the way back. So we're going to start giving a little bit of flap. Pop an air brake here. Slow this plane down.
Don't sink. Don't sink.
Okay.
500.
Good.
Don't
500
sink.
is good. A little bit more flap.
Don't sink.
Run that engine up to about 30% power.
Don't sink.
It's higher than 30%, but that's okay.
Don't
like
sink.
40%, but gosh.
400. Don't
Good.
sink. Don't
Okay, we're down
sink.
below 200 knots. So now we're going to be going slower than that
Don't
P-38.
sink. Don't sink. 300.
Those engines up a little bit.
Don't sink. Don't sink. 200.
Okay, now we've stabilized at about 183.
Don't sink.
Okay.
Don't sink.
Lower. Kind of aiming
Don't sink.
far side of that, I think.
Don't sink. 100.
Okay, 100. A little bit
Don't
more power.
Don't sink.
So we're just kind of loping. We're at 176.
Don't sink. Don't sink. Terrain. Terrain.
Okay. Apparently you cannot do that. It's interesting. All right. Sadly, that's where we're going to have to leave it. We can't fly a 747 underneath the Bay Bridge because FSX doesn't like it. FSX is a jerk. FSX is a jerk to stupid plane tricks. All right. Until next time, happy flying and enjoy your own stupid plane tricks. Make sure you give me some ideas for the next Flying Friday, please. I'm running out of ideas. Bye, everybody.